Hello, welcome to Microservices Explained. My name is Bartosz Jędrzejewski, and today I will talk to you about the difference between orchestration and choreography. So that's a topic that comes up when talking about different ways to integrate between microservices. To explain it in a simple way, orchestration is when one service talks to another directly. Services need to know about each other to orchestrate. So why is it called orchestration then? Well, when you think about conducting an orchestra, you have the conductor running the show, and of course each musician plays their piece, their instrument, but the conductor directs this orchestra to play together. So that's why we call it orchestration. One service tells others what to do. That's basically the most common way to integrate between microservices. So yeah, think of it as making REST calls. It's quite common when we do these extract, transform, load processes, for example. The other way to integrate microservices is by using choreography. So think about a dance performance where you have a stage where you have different dancers, each of them dancing, but there is no conductor there. Everyone knows what they should be doing at the given moment just by, because they know the choreography, hence the name really. So how can you do that in microservices? Well, it's quite simply you need to have some ways, some global ways of publishing messages. That's not a new idea when you think about the design patterns and the observer, event driven design is not new. It's not been invented for microservices, but and even on architectural level, we've already had that in service-oriented architectures when you had these enterprise services buses. Here, usually in microservices, it's a bit simpler, as you might have seen in the previous video about what characterizes microservices architectures. We want smart endpoints and dumb pipes, so we want that messaging technology to not do too much logic for us. Hence choices such as Kafka or RabbitMQ are quite popular and well suited. Basically, service to get an orchestration, you get service publishing an event, a message on a message queue, and then the service wouldn't be aware what other services may be reacting to that. So when taken to the extreme that you can have your whole architecture only driven from events, and then you can talk about event sourcing and things such as CQRS, command query responsibility separation. So these things are useful to know, but perhaps quite advanced. So you don't need to do event sourcing to do choreography. You can, for example, only parts of your system could be choreographed. So how do they compare? How do you compare choreography and orchestration? Well, the main difference is the synchronous versus asynchronous communication. So I'm talking here on architecture level, because each microservice could be synchronous or asynchronous these days. Reactive Java, all that's a separate thing. So how do you and so this synchronous versus asynchronous, what does that mean? Well, when you have orchestration, you get a service making a call to another service and waiting for response. Either the response times out, or is successful, or is unsuccessful, but it's all part of a transaction, so it's much easier to work with. While when dealing with choreography, the moment you publish on the queue, on the message bus, really you're done. Everything else happens in asynchronous ways. So certain processes are much better suited for this choreography hence you can take the practical approach to choreography. I actually delivered a kind of longish, maybe 30-40 minutes talk on that I will link in this video if you want to go into more depths into how to achieve practical choreography. So I hope that this short video gives you an idea what's the key difference between choreography and orchestration. And yeah, to recap, orchestration, one service talking to another, this service can be talking to another service, everything is synchronous, you know, that's pretty straightforward, that's probably what most people do. By default, choreography, asynchronous, message bus, RabbitMQ, Kafka, publishing events, and waiting for responses. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll publish more videos on explaining different topics in microservices, and let me know if there are particular topics you'd want to hear about. I also run microservice focused blog, e4developer.com. So if you want to read some interesting articles on similar topics, you know, visit and have a read. Okay, thank you for listening, and see you next time.